Hello, 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 friends. So, Million Dollar Baby is here, and today we are going to talk about mood. Hashtag, where's my hashtag? Here it is. Hashtag mood, okay? We're going to talk about the moods that even badasses go through too, right? Because even a badass can feel tired. Even a badass can feel exhausted, right? So I decided that we're going to do things a little bit differently today, okay? So as you can see, I set it up so that you can actually see my hashtag Million Dollar Baby, and it's not in the mirror image anymore. So we got a system now, so this works. So I'm excited. So as you can see, I have decided to do something a little bit different. So I put on my glasses and a hat because I felt like the best way for me to describe my mood today, because I got a little confession to make. It's been like a really long 2 weeks for me, and I just really needed to take a little time out. So I didn't go live yesterday because I had a lot going on. It felt like a long day. It's been super hot all week. I went back to the gym this week, and I think my body just needed a little breaky break, right? As Martin would say, breaky break. I like it. So I have a song to sing to you partially, and then we're going to talk about these moods, okay? The hashtag mood. So for the sake of argument, I don't know where my microphone is because I was too lazy to go find one. Like, I have one. I think it's downstairs, but sometimes you just don't feel like doing anything at all. So I did not. So for the sake of argument, somebody needs to, I need to find somebody that can make me like a blinged out microphone for my live. So when I decide to sing to y'all, I have something ready and prepared, okay? I'm going to need that in my life. So for the sake of argument, microphone, here we go. I've got my shades on. If you are just tuning in, make sure that you comment below too, so that I know who's watching. I can give you a shout out. I can say hello. I see some people. Hello, Dawn D. That's what I'm gonna call you because that's your new Facebook name. Hello, Navici. Thank you for turning in. Okay, you guys ready? So this song describes my mood, and I'm only gonna do a little snippet, okay? Oh, crap. Anything. I just wanna lay in my bed. This is how I felt today. Period. Leave a pick it up. Leave a message at the tone. Today I said I'm not doing anything. That's me. I don't know the words. All I know is I didn't feel like doing nothing, going nowhere. I don't want to do nothing, right? So sometimes we feel this way. Birthday suit. I wanted to strut in my birthday suit, but letting everything hang loose is not always the best thing. So, yes. So today I don't feel like doing anything. I just want. And it's crazy because this song just talks about laying around, but it made me feel happy today. Didn't feel like picking up the phone. I want everybody to leave a message at the tone, right? Because today I didn't feel like doing anything. Nothing at all. Okay, so now that you understand what my mood is, let me give you some tips, okay? Because, maybe I should have been strutting in my underwear. That actually might have boosted my mood even more. But, I think people think that as an entrepreneur or just in life, you're supposed to just grind it out, and you're not supposed to get any sleep. Well, what kind of life is that? Dude, you have to sleep because your body needs sleep. Like, it requires it so that you can actually function at the highest levels. So, every now and then, it's okay to be a badass and say, you know what? I don't feel like doing anything today, and I'm not. You know why? Because your body needs those breaks, and you need to start listening to your body, okay? It's literally the most important thing that you could ever do. So I know we've all been in a situation where you're super exhausted, and you're like, oh my God, I have to get all this stuff done. Oh my God, right? And you're like, let me just drink this energy shot. let me just grab this Red Bull and let me just plow through it, because if I can just get through these next couple days, right, I'm good. I just need to keep going. You're relentless, right? So here's the thing. It's great to be relentless, but you can't really be like a high-performing, relentless person or badass if you actually are not like thinking straight. Because what happens is, right, instead of focusing on what your body needs and what your body is trying to tell you, you're scared that things are going to fall apart, right? If you take a break, oh my God, I'm going to die and everything around me is going to die with it, right? Because I am the end-all, be-all, and I'm the only person on the planet that can do anything. Like what? Not. There are other people that can do the same things that you can do, and they probably can do it better, especially if they've had like 8 hours of sleep. Just saying, right? So the reality is, you got to take you got to make sure that you're taking your breaks. Like, you can't just get your 2 hours of sleep every single day and keep going like that, right? Because if you continue on that path, it's going to be worse, right? So the best thing that you want to do is to be able to actually get that rest, because it's going to be worse if you land in the hospital or you get sick, right? Because that's what happens. So did you guys know that ultradian rhythms occur approximately every 90 to 120 minutes in your body, right? So these are rhythms that give you clues, right, and signal that you need rest and you need to change in your physical and mental activity because you're tired, right? You are exhausted. So if you're getting these rhythms, let me give you some examples of what these could be, right? Because what happens is a lot of us are ignoring these signals, which leads to fatigue, stress, right? And it leads to illness. And that's not what we want. We want to be alive. We want to be well. We want to be popping. We want to be... Where's my hashtag? I don't know why I keep losing this thing as big as it is. Hashtag badasses, right? That's what we want to be every single day. You want to be on top of your game, whether it's in business and life, whatever the case may be. So here's some things that I know we've all experienced, and you don't even realize that these are all indications of the fact that you needed to rest. You needed to take a break, right? So raise your hand if you hear something that sounds familiar, right? So daydreaming, right? If you find yourself daydreaming all the time, it's because you needed some rest. You need to take a time out. Lack of focus or concentration. Like, we all have days where you're sitting there and you're doing the same thing you always do, but for whatever reason, your brain is scatterbrained. You just cannot think clearly. That was me today. I felt like doing nothing at all. I literally laid around until 11:30. Then I decided to mosey my little stuff out the bed. Well, I guess I'll clean my room. Put these clothes up. I guess I'll take a shower. I guess I'll drag myself out the house and find some interaction with other people. It was literally about 3:30 by the time I actually got myself in order to even fathom being around people today, but that's okay. I recognize that my mental was so far out of here earlier today that I just needed time to rest. So I slept in, I kind of moseyed around. I didn't feel like I was in a rush. I didn't try to be in no rush. And I just took a time out. I'm used to just doing my thing, working, networking, whatever I do, try to meet people, whatever. But sometimes you just need that, right? So the other thing is, if you're sitting there and you're just yawning, constantly yawning, that's an indication that you need to take a time out, right? You're feeling like you need a break. Sometimes you say out loud to people, dude, I need a break, right? You subconsciously need to go ahead and handle that. Take your break, Slim Shady. Take your break. Oh, Angela says I look beautiful. Oh, thank you. I'm wearing shades in the house right now for the effect of Bruno Mars. That's how I felt. Let's see. Oh, if you're forgetful, right? Put a hand in the comments if you're ever forgetful or things are constantly on the tip of your tongue. Like, you're like, oh my gosh, it's right there. I just can't say it. I just can't get it out. You can't put things into words. That is a ultradian rhythm, dude. That is trying to tell you that you need to get some sleep, right? You need to get a break, right? So here's the thing. Most of us would rather do than be, right? The moment we rest, right? So, we take a break, but we feel guilty about it because you'd rather be doing than being, right? But you got to change your mindset. you need to start being so that you can do, right? That's the flip side of this. You can't do unless you be. And the only way to be is to sleep and get rest, right? So stop feeling guilty about it. You deserve the vacation. You deserve to take 24 hours to 48 hours to yourself. You deserve the meditation. You deserve the sleep, right? So stop pushing your body too hard. That is the hugest myth of entrepreneurship life, and I hate it. I hate it because I used to feel like that person. I used to be that person of every single night, round the clock with the last business, right? I'm doing parties. I'm doing this. I'm labeling this. I'm talking this. I was all over the place, right? I gotta go get party supplies. I gotta do this, do that. But all of that will run you down. And the one thing that I learned coming from that business to this one is that I want to sleep. Lord. Hashtag $1 million baby needs her sleep, y'all. It is so precious to me. You don't even understand how little things like that make a difference. So now I can recognize, right? You need to start recognizing too. Because what will happen is if you don't recognize, you continue to feel guilty, you're going to make yourself sick. You're going to push your body too hard, right? And you're going to be ignoring those rhythms that we just talked about, right? So as a result of you ignoring the rhythms, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be stressed out. You're going to be angry. You're going to be irritable, right? You're going to be flipping out and yelling at everybody. What happens when you're tired? When you are exhausted, you get upset about the smallest little things. Hey, Candace, thank you for tuning in. You get upset about the smallest, teeniest, tiniest little things. Poor children that you guys have some days, right? When you don't get sleep, you are like the crankiest person alive. I know I am, right? Raise your hand if you get cranky. I am Mrs. Cranky Pants. I am. If I don't get no sleep and it's been like a week, we gonna have a problem. And I recognize it now. I did not know it until I started tuning into myself, y'all. Like, I have moments where I'm like, dude, you are being a bitch. Like, I shouldn't have said that out loud, but it's the truth. Like, where I think to myself, okay, I am losing steam. I am getting tired because why did I just flip out about that? Like, why am I annoyed? Like, all of a sudden, I am losing it. And I probably shouldn't have snapped like that. Or before I snap, how about I just take a time out? How about I go take a walk? How about I just go home and, like, rest? Like, maybe I just need a little sleep. Because Mrs. Cranky Pants is not fun. I'm just saying, right? Like, Mr. or Mrs. Cranky Pants from anybody is not the fun person to be around. And, I mean, if you know me, I am the life of the party. So, life of the party, hashtag $1 million baby cannot be Mrs. Cranky Pants. You would prefer that Mrs. Cranky Pants go home and get it together. So, I suggest that y'all start doing it too, okay? So, stop being angry, stop being irritable, figure out your signs, and get your little booty in bed. Okay? Take a break. Next, so let's see. What happens if you do end up in the hospital? That is the $1 million question, right? So we're always worried about, okay, but if I don't do this, this is not going to get done. This is going to happen. Everything's going to fall apart. The entire world is going to lose, right? Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, dude. Here's the thing, right? So, like, let's say, like, not wishing this on anybody, but let's say you end up in the hospital tomorrow. Tomorrow, you end up in the hospital because you ignored the signs, you didn't get your rest, now you're stressed, you're irritable, and then you done fell out somewhere. Okay, well, what if they say you gotta stay and be monitored for like 2 weeks? 2 weeks. What you gonna do then? Does the world fall apart? I mean, look at your to-do list. Let's just think about this for a second, right? Will your to-do list wait? Will there be somebody else that maybe could pick up the slack on some of your to-do list and maybe do it better because they're well rested and they're not sick and they're not in the hospital like you are? Just saying, right? So we have to start thinking about this. Is it better for me to make myself sick, ignore the signs, not take a short-lived break, right? But be in the hospital later for a month or so, just because I didn't listen to my body. I was being hard-headed, and I called myself being an entrepreneur. Like there's one entrepreneur that I know, and he always says, I can sleep when I'm dead. I have to go chase this money. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because you are going to be dead if you don't actually rest that little body of yours. Let's start there. And when you did, what's the point of that? You can't spend the money anyway. So if you're going to make the money, hell, I want to die doing. I want to die being. I want to live. I want to live my life. I want to spend the money. I want to buy the things. I want to get all the things. I want to help all the people, right? What good is the money to you if you can sleep when you dead and you make the money, but you make it after you dead, or it's there once you die, but nobody can use, like, that doesn't, what? No, I'm not about that in entrepreneur life. I'm about the entrepreneur life where entrepreneurs are happy and well rested and can live in the moment and can be excited and can love on people and can help people and can give, right? Because they have the energy to give. Because why? Because they rested and they're in good health, right? That is important. So, people, it is okay if you are in a hashtag mood today, right? Sometimes you just got to take a break. You've got to rest that big old brain of yours inside that big old head so you can make sure that you're productive, right? You got to learn to delegate things out, right? Stop overcommitting yourself, because most people, we just say yes to too much. Dude, practice 2 letters. Y'all ready for this? 2 letters. N-O. It'll take you so much further. And I'm not saying say no to everybody and everything, but the reality is we just overcommit ourselves with way too much. Like, start really controlling your calendar and stop letting it control you. That was something that I had to learn, and now I finally feel like I've got a handle on it to where I don't feel like, oh God, I'm so tired. Why in the heck did I commit to this? Like, I am tripping. I did not realize this was going to suck up my entire week. Like, what? You don't ever want to be in that predicament, okay? So, just so we're clear, the world does not crash and burn when you take a break. It'll just keep going. Somebody else might pick up the slack, right? It's going to be okay, right? So, how are you supposed to be your best self if you haven't rested your own body, right? So let's make sure that we're always well rested. Let's make sure that we listen to our bodies, that we start being in tune with ourselves, right? Let's make sure that our brains don't check out when you really need it the most, when you need to be at your high performance levels, when you need to be productive, right? When you need to problem solve, when you need to analyze something, when you need to think clearly so you can make those decisions that will change your life and your business, right? So stop worrying about what you'll miss and slow it down so you don't develop FOMO. There's no reason for you to develop FOMO. If you slow it down, right? Slow it down, you won't miss a thing. You'll actually be in the moment instead of living in the do, right? Let's live in the be and not in the do. It makes a difference. So, the one thing that you should be worried about is what is the repercussion for pushing your body past the brink of exhaustion, right? Because that repercussion is so much greater than you taking 6 or 7, 8 hours of time to sleep, or taking that 24 hours that you need to just rest your brain, do what you want to do, release some happy endorphins, do some things that are going to relieve stress to you, take a shower, I don't know, whatever it is you need to do. Hey Daniel, thank you for tuning in. Then you do it. Don D says, all about yoga, and it's not just because of all of the bendable. Oh my gosh, I can't with you. The bendable women, really? Yes. So, on that note, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you like my Bruno Mars song. I really like Bruno Mars. He's something about his music that just makes me happy and puts a smile on my face and speaks to my soul. I like the fact that we're talking about women being beautiful and how he could take such a simple mood of me not feeling like doing anything today, and it just become this wonderful, positive song. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Somebody really we need to find somebody to bedazzle me a mic. I'll sing more if we find me a microphone. Okay. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you felt like you got value from this and you learned something tonight, I want you to drop those 10s in the comments. because a 10 lets me know that I'm doing something right. And even if you're watching a replay, please drop those 10s because I know that you're watching there, okay? I can see you. Just saying. Facebook snitches on everybody. So, drop those 10s. I am Jalila T. Hashtag your $1 million baby. If you love what you heard and you know somebody else needed to hear this message too, go ahead and smash that share button because sharing is caring. And you guys have an amazing Sunday night. Don't fall asleep on those BET awards. I know I'm competing with that, but hey, listen. BET awards don't pay my bills, and I had a duty to uphold because the people spoke earlier. It told me that I need to get my little booty live again today. So I'm here. I did it. And I will talk to you guys later. Have an amazing night. Good night.